and that I know we were kind of struggling with last semester a little bit, so I want to go over it today, is how to do the mole-to-mole ratio and how to calculate if you've got that much of this going in, how much of that are you going to get out. Do you remember that? You kind of had issues with it? Okay. Do what?
I said it wasn't that long ago. Last week, wasn't it?
You apparently don't kill brain cells as quickly as I do.
He's not old.
All right. So, for instance,
I do have to say I was lost on the exam, the final though.
okay.
Yep. I mean, I felt like I had a pretty good handle on it until I took that. Don't be not on.
Hello. Hey. Oh, your stuff was here. Yeah, I didn't realize how short I actually am until I was working at the board and wearing heels and I took them off and it. Damn, I'm short. Okay. So, we've got an equation. Stoichiometrically, or in order to be able to read it stoichiometrically, and guys remember that means mole to mole to mole, we've got to make sure it's balanced. So we've got lithium hydroxide combines with bromic acid or hydrobromic acid to produce lithium bromide and water. Welcome to apparently the town that needs to build an ark. Yes, you do know we were hit by a tornado on whatever it was, Saturday. They just never said. They never claimed it, but I got a guy that, a friend of mine that cuts trees. And he was called, and was right behind Williams Road, the Welcome Center in that area. He said trees were snapped off and the phone poles were snapped off in half. And
they were out in Opelika too, they were cleaning up out there too.
We're nasty. Okay, so first thing we've got to do, one, make sure and normally when you get a worksheet that's got equations on it, the compounds are written correctly, but it's always good to go back and check. So lithium is a cation, hydroxide is the anion, lithium is in group 1, so it has a +1 charge, hydroxide is a polyatomic ion with a -1 charge, so that's written correctly. Hydrogen's in group 1, +1 charge, bromine is in group 7, -1 charge, that's written correctly. Lithium is in group 1, +1 charge. Bromine is in group 7, -1 charge. That's written correctly. Water, hydrogen's in group 1. Oxygen is in group 6, so it has a -2 charge. So I'm going to need 2 of the hydrogens at +1 each to balance out the -2 from the oxygen. Everybody okay with that? Okay. Now we've got to balance the equation. So we've got 1 lithium, 1 oxygen, 1 oxygen, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogen, 1 bromine, 1 bromine. Everything's already balanced, and everything on this sheet is already balanced, or is balanced on here. So, now, the question is asking us that if we start with 10 grams of lithium hydroxide, how many grams of lithium bromide will be produced? So when we're working these, we still use a dimensional analysis, and we start off always with what we know we have. We know that we've got 10 grams of lithium hydroxide. The only way we have to go from one compound in a reaction to another compound in a reaction is what's called the mole-to-mole ratio. And we get that from reading the balanced equation stoichiometrically. This is saying, stoichiometrically, this says 1 mole of lithium hydroxide, because there's no number in front of here, no coefficient, reacts with 1 mole of hydrobromic acid to produce lithium bromide, 1 mole, and 1 mole of water. So at this point, we know that our mole-to-mole ratio of lithium hydroxide to lithium bromide is 1 to 1. But before I get there, I've got to get my lithium hydroxide from grams to moles. Remember how I do that?
Weight.
The atomic weight. 1 mole of anything is its atomic weight. So we go over here and we've got lithium. We've got 1 and it weighs 7 grams. Oxygen, we have 1 and it weighs 16 grams. Hydrogen, we've got 1 and it weighs 1 gram. So we multiply that out, add it together for a total of 24 grams. And right on the lithium, right, it is 7. So 1 mole of anything is its atomic weight. So now I can cancel out my grams of lithium hydroxide. The only unit I have left now is moles of lithium hydroxide. So now I can use my mole to mole ratio from the balanced equation. I'm going to cancel out 1 mole of lithium hydroxide equals 1 mole of lithium bromide. Now I'm in moles of lithium bromide, so how do I get to grams of lithium bromide?
It's weight.
1 mole of lithium bromide.
80 plus 7.
So 87. Bromine is 80, lithium is 7, thank you. I wasn't sure how much bromine was. So now our moles cancel out. The only unit we're left with is grams of lithium bromide. That's what we were looking for. So now we just multiply across, so that's going to be 870 divided by 24. And that should be 36.3 grams lithium bromide. Coming back like a bad nightmare? It's okay, half my 8 o'clock class was sleeping. How hard it is to teach math at 97 at 8 o'clock in the morning.
When it's raining.
When it's raining. And this is the first time they've been there on Monday. Think about it.
Right.
So yeah, they're all disgruntled. So what do you think? Questions?
Yes.
Okay.
I understand when the compound cancel out each other,
Uh-huh.
but wouldn't the lithium be at the bottom still if we cancel out correctly? The 24 grams of lithium?
The number is, which is why I divided by 24, but the unit is gone. This unit, grams of lithium hydroxide, canceled out with this
Just,
unit.
okay, that's the number missing.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, I got it. Now that makes sense.
Okay. Right. So let's try the next one. I should get a pair of drywall stilts. That would help. Now, even though it's already balanced on your worksheet, we're going to balance it anyway. Okay, first of all, can anybody tell me what kind of reaction this is? Remember, we've got
Combustion.
good. It's combustion because we're combining with oxygen and making carbon dioxide and water. Perfect. Okay. Now we've got ethane. Ethane. We'll learn how to name organic compounds tomorrow. Ethane plus oxygen produces carbon dioxide and water. So we've got two carbons, 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, 3 oxygen. Oxygen's just going to fall into place. Well, whatever I do over there is going to change the oxygen, so I'm just going to leave it alone, but I know I need to get an even number of oxygens over there. Right? So I've got to do at least this. So now I've got 2 carbons, 4, 5 oxygens. I know I need to do this. 2 carbons, 2 carbons, 4 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen. Now how many oxygens do I have? 4 and 2 is 6. So I just put 3 there to make that 6. You're okay. All right. So stoichiometrically, I say 1 mole of ethane reacts with 3 moles of oxygen to produce 2 moles of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. So if I were looking at my mole-to-mole ratio of ethane to oxygen, what is it? 1 to 3. How about oxygen to carbon dioxide? 3 to 2. Okay. So that is the key that we have to find, the right mole-to-mole ratio in order to go from one element to another. Okay, so now this time we're going to start with 45 grams of ethylene. Oh, that's ethylene. Okay. And we're going to make how many grams of carbon dioxide? All right. So we're going to start off with what we know. 45 grams of the C2H4. Now what's our next step? We're at grams, so what do we have to do? To moles. So 1 mole of ethylene. All right, so we've got 2 carbons at 12 each, so that's 24, and 4 hydrogens, so that's 28 grams of ethylene. Now what? Mole, which is what goes on top?
1 mole CO2.
2 moles of CO2, 1 mole of ethylene. So that my moles of ethylene will cancel out. Then I use my atomic weight, so 1 mole. Now, a lot of times I see people trying to use this mole here, but we've already covered it over here. This is just converting the number of moles we have already to the atomic weight. So then we've got oxygens at 16, so that's 32, plus 12, that's 44. I added that right? Okay. So now, only unit we have left is grams of CO2. So it's 45 times 2 times 44 divided by 28, 141. Try the next 2 on your own. I'll go from there.